Every day at Stonebridge, we start our day in a good way with our land acknowledgement. Buju is Ojibwe for welcome, and this year we want to acknowledge with our community that as we start a new school year, that we acknowledge that we are on the traditional territories of the Wendat, the Haudenosaunee, and the Anishinaabe peoples, whose presence here continues to this day. We also would like to acknowledge this is the treaty lands of the First Nations of the Williams Treaty and thank them and other Indigenous peoples for sharing this land with us. We would also like to acknowledge the Chippewas of Georgina Island First Nation as our closest First Nation community and our partners in education.
Welcome back, Stonebridge community. We're really excited to welcome you back to school, and we've missed you. We're starting off at the front of our school as a sign of our recommitment to ensuring that we cultivate and nurture Black excellence. We as co-leaders of the school recognize that we need to hold ourselves accountable to ensure the continued success of our Black students and community.
So something new to Stonebridge for this year is at every single entry, you're going to see welcome in multiple languages that represent many of the languages that are spoken here at Stonebridge, including Tamil, Ojibwe, Urdu, Korean, Chinese, simplified Chinese, traditional Chinese, French, and Arabic. So we want to welcome you to Stonebridge to another exciting school year. So something that is new this year because of the protocols that are in place around COVID-19 is that visitors are not to enter the school during the hours of operation unless those arrangements have been pre-arranged. For anyone that does come into the building, we need to make sure that we're checking these criteria around whether we have had fever, a worsening cough, worsening shortness of breath, or whether we've traveled out of Canada over the last 14 days, or we have been in contact with anyone who has had a case of COVID-19. So that's something new for us this year. So we're just going to welcome you into the school and show you some of the other pieces that are a little bit different. So when you come into the school, you're going to see that we do have a table with the same information, masks for anyone who needs them, as well as hand sanitizer. So anyone that is coming into the building does need to make sure that they use that hand sanitizer. This bin is for anyone who is returning to school that has technology that they need to return that they borrowed during the school closures, as well as any library books can go in that box. So you'll probably also notice that there is a new display case, and so here with our community library as well as our dual language library, we very much hope to be able to return these books so that you'll be able to borrow them once we're able to do so. But we also do have a new space that can be used for either expanding the community library or for celebrations. So just as we walk the halls, you're going to also notice something very different. So you're going to notice decals on the floor, reminders about physical distance, and also reminders about direction. So we're going to walk on the right to make sure that we're maintaining our social distance. Also, the stairwells have arrows that reflect the direction that we need to follow. So every stairway has arrows as well. And you'll also notice that outside of the washrooms, there are spots. There are only a limited number of spots for the girls' and boys' bathrooms. And so you'll notice that there are please wait signs that are on the floor. And that's intended for students to have a spot where they can be socially distanced while waiting for the washrooms, as we can't have more than 5 in the boys' washrooms and 7 in the girls' washrooms. You're also going to notice that we still have our guiding question, who am I, up on our wall. Our director has identified that putting student identity at the center of our planning is going to be essential for our return to school after the pandemic. And so this is work that we started last year, and we'll continue to look at personal and social identity in the work that we're doing in our classrooms, continuing to add to our book collection that reflects diverse identities as well. So this is work that we're going to continue on this year. So we're going to take you outside and show you some of the exciting things that you'll find out on our pavement area. So if you've been at school recently, you've noticed that there is a lot of pavement art that has been either refreshed or added, and we're very excited about having this because I know that it's going to help at recess times. So one example is that this choice board is around helping students, and this is on our primary side, helping students make good choices and resolve conflict. We also wanted to highlight over here that we have letters for each of our classes. So you can see that, for example, this is class C, uppercase and lowercase, but also behind it are examples of 2 meters so that students know what that social distancing looks like. So this is going to be part of our routine as we come back to school, making sure that we are social distancing. And you'll see that at every entry that we have, we also have welcome. So we have welcome in multiple languages. You'll also notice that we have 2 umbrellas in our South Kindergarten yard. Our South Kindergarten yard is the yard that receives the most sun during the day, and so this is something that parents spoke to us about, wanting to have shade, and so these have been installed. And of course you can see here the beautiful art that is in all of the kindergarten spaces, highlighting opportunities for students at recess time. You can also see in this kindergarten yard that we have shapes around the outside, and again this can help our students with the social distancing for lining up before they come into the school. So again, just another reminder, so we tried to refresh the pavement art, but also think about how we can encourage social distance and remind our students of what those distances look like even before we come into the school. So it's going to be a great year.